Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we have the door off of this truck. We're replacing the door hinges. Well, not really. We're replacing the bushings and one hinge. You'll see that in another video. But while we have the door off, it's time to attack this interior. This seat is not the right seat for this truck. This is from a later model truck. The carpet in here has seen a lot better days. So we're gonna pull the seat out. We're gonna put new carpet in. And we're gonna put a new seat in, actually not new, but a seat from a junkyard that's actually from the right year truck. And we're gonna freshen up this interior while we have the door off. It's a lot easier access. So let's get started. So we're gonna start by unbolting the seats here. So there are 2 bolts on each side. Go. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, so the next step is to unbolt the seat belts. So I'm going to reach under the seat here and unbolt these 2 seat belts that come up through the middle of the seat. There we go. And there we go. We've got the seat belt released from the floor. Okay, so the seat is fully unbolted, so we'll just lift it out of the truck now. And the second seat here. I got this one. The next step, we'll remove the other seat belt. So this is on the passenger side. So there's a look at that. So next up, we're going to pull off this behind the seat storage tray. Over to the passenger side of this rear tray, we'll pull off the lid. Under here is the jack. Pull the jack out. And then I'm going to put a socket here on the top of this stud. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, for some reason, the carpet is stuck on there, so we'll have to clean the carpet off of the bottom, but otherwise, we're replacing the carpet anyway, so it's not that big a deal. All right, so next up, we'll remove these seatbelt retractors. I'm going to use a T50 Torx. Perfect. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So to get to the top bolt of the seatbelt retractor, we have to pop this cover off. So there's a little latch on the back side here. There we go. And it should hinge up. And we have another T50 bolt. Now you don't technically have to remove this top bolt if you're just replacing the carpet, but we're going to also be replacing these seat belts too. All right, so continuing with the carpet removal, we'll remove these door sill plates. I already took the first 2 screws out, so I'll remove the third one here. There we go. We've got the sill plate off, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Next up, we're going to remove the 4-wheel drive shifter. And so this shift knob actually is just threaded on, so we'll spin that off. And there are 4 screws that hold on the cover, so 2 on the driver's side and 2 facing the passenger side. So we'll go ahead and remove those 4 as well. Okay. And then we've got 2 bulbs here on the bottom. So we'll just twist those counterclockwise and they'll pop right out. We're going to replace this kick panel carpet in addition to the floor carpeting, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these little kick panels out. They're just snapped in, so we'll try to really carefully pry them off here. Go. Looks like I got one off there. That seems to be working. There we go. So let's look at the kick panel. A couple of our clips stayed on the truck, but that's okay. We'll just transfer them back over to these tabs on the kick panel and we should be fine. We'll go ahead and remove the carpet off of this back wall, and it's held in with a series of push pins here at the top. So I'll use a little plastic push pin remover. A little bit of Velcro here at the bottom too. So there we go, there is the back wall carpet, and we're gonna plan on replacing that as well. So we are finally ready to pull the carpet out of the truck. So I'm going to work out all of the corners loose, and then we'll pull it out and be ready to install the new carpet. All right, so the carpet is out of the truck. The floor is in really, really great shape. No rust or anything else to deal with, so I'm really happy about that. So we've got a little bit of cleanup to do in here, just vacuuming and peeling up any of the sticky underlayment that didn't quite come off with the carpet, and then we'll be ready to install the new carpet. It's finally time for some new carpet. As you saw in the last clip, we got the old carpet out. This is a new custom molded carpet from OC Auto Carpets, and we'll link them in the description below. So when you buy a custom molded carpet for your truck, the first thing you'll notice is that it's quite a bit too large. So they give you a lot of extra carpet along all of the edges. So before we try to put this in the truck, we're going to lay the old carpet on top and trim all of the edges so that at least it's a pretty close fit, and we'll do the final trimming once it's in the truck. All right, so next step is we'll just slide the new carpet in. We've got it folded in half here. We've had it actually laying out in the sun, so it's nice and warm, a little bit easier to work with as well. All right, so we've got the new carpet in. Using the old carpet as a template worked really well. We've got a pretty good fit. There's still a little bit of trimming to do, so we'll go ahead and get started on that now. So here we are on the driver's side. The carpet actually fits pretty well. It tucks in behind this wire loom or wire cover, but the sill plate that goes over it needs to attach with 3 screws, and so you can see the hole down here. So what we need to do is actually trim the carpet back a little bit around this hole. Again, just using regular scissors. So I'll make a couple of cuts here. We'll just cut a little notch out of the carpet. I'll take a look. And now we can see the hole down through there. Perfect. So we'll repeat that process down the rest of the sill plate. So we've got the main carpet all trimmed up. It's time to start addressing some of the other trim pieces. So these are the kick panels, since they sit in each corner of the cab, and they're actually carpeted as well. And you can see just how dingy this old carpet was compared to how the new carpet looks. So we actually bought new kick panel carpet as well. So that matches the new carpet, and it's already cut to shape. We'll have to trim it up just a little bit. They give you a little bit more than you need, but basically that's the idea. We'll replace the old carpet with a new piece that matches our new carpet. And so the way this works, this is just glued onto the old kick panel here. And you can see that it actually comes off pretty cleanly. I started peeling it off. And maybe we just got really lucky. But it's actually coming right off of here. So there we go. There's the old piece of carpet. So what we'll do is lay this new piece on. I'll just go around the back with a marker and kind of mark the extra carpet here that we'll trim off. And then we'll show you how to attach it to this kick panel. All right, to attach the carpet, we're going to use 3M Super 77, and we'll just put a coat onto the back of the carpet. We know when the carpet is ready to attach to the kick panel, we'll take the back of your knuckle, stick it onto the carpet. It's really tacky, but it doesn't leave any residue on your finger. So that's when you know it is ready to go on. So here we've got our kick panel. We'll just line this up with the top edge here. And we'll just kind of massage that on. There we go. And we'll let that set up for a few minutes, but that's all there is to it. All right, so we are ready to install our back wall carpet, but before we do that, I wanted to show you guys the old back wall carpet. So the old carpet had a really nice rubber backing to it. Unfortunately, the new carpet is just basically a piece of nylon carpet. There's no option to get that same rubber backing. The other issue is the old carpet had this really nice plastic strip across the top, and so that went all the way across the top. And this carpet is just held up with push pins. So you've got 5 holes for push pins across the top that hold the carpet up. On the new carpet, because it's just thin nylon carpet, I was really worried that if we just poked 5 holes in it to hold it up with push pins, they would all rip out. And so what we did was we actually transferred that plastic from the old carpet onto the new carpet, onto this new back wall carpet. And so now you can see where the push pins are coming through. It's much, much more reinforced. So we just took this over to our local upholstery shop, Midwest Custom Upholstery over in Williamsburg, Iowa, and they removed this plastic strip from the old one and sewed it onto the new one while we waited. So overall, pretty easy transfer. So at this point, we're ready to get this mounted. So we'll get each of these push pins just kind of barely started, just stick them in. Tuck it in behind the B-pillar here. All right, so there we go. There's a couple of extra things that we can do. Obviously the jack goes here in this location, so that'll cover up this bottom seam. And then there's a piece of trim here that goes over the top, and it should kind of cover up this top portion where you see a little bit of waviness. So I'll go grab that piece of trim and we'll make sure that covers everything on the top. All right, so here is a look at that back wall trim. And you can see how it goes. So it'll cover up the entire top of that carpet. So you won't see any of the waviness on the top of that carpet. And like I said, we're gonna have the jack down there on the bottom. So I think this will actually look okay. Again, it's just a very thin piece of nylon carpet. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of options when it comes to carpet for these trucks. I'm told that ACC is the only company that makes it. So this is kind of what you're stuck with, but we'll see how it looks once we get all the trim in place. I think it'll look all right. Now that we've got our back wall carpet in, we're ready to reinstall our jack tray. So we'll start with the bottom of the jack tray here. And then we'll install the larger tray that goes over top. On the passenger side, everything's held in with this long stud. That goes down into the floor. And on the driver's side, we've got one nut to hold everything together. Now I know this jack tray's got a little bit of damage. It's been melted sometime in the past. But if you've got one in better condition in blue, comment down below, I'm interested. We've got our jack tray all loaded up. We still even have the little instruction sheet on how to do it. So all of the pieces were there, surprisingly. Now we'll just put our lid on. There we go. And the wing nut on the top here. There we go. Now we are ready to install our kick panels, and so we've got the new carpet that we've glued on. These are held on with 4 clips, and there's also an alignment pin here in the middle. So we should just be able to put this in place and push it in. There we go. So last but not least, we'll put in our door sills. There's a couple of pins on the front and back that'll go through the holes on the other 2 pieces of trim. So we'll see if we can get all of this lined up. Now it's time to get our 4-wheel drive shifter cover back in place. So on the bottom there are 2 bulbs to indicate when you're in 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive. So go ahead and put those in place. And then there are 4 screws around the perimeter of this cover. So 2 here on the passenger side and 2 on the driver's side. And we'll finish it off with the knob. At this point, we've got the carpet fit in the truck, the four-wheel drive shifter trim, the kick panels, the sill plates, the jack tray, the back carpet. So really, everything is to the point that we're ready to put the seat back in. So let's get started on that. Now that we've got the seat in the truck, I've taken a little bit closer look at it, and we actually need to put these buckles in before we bolt the seat down, because it's going to give us a little bit more flexibility on getting these buckles in and reaching around behind the seat. So these actually slide in from the top of the seat. And so there's our driver's side and middle seat buckle. The passenger side will be exactly the same. And we're going to have to bolt that into the floor actually down below. And so we'll move the camera and show you what that looks like. We are under the seat. We've got the buckle plugged in. The driver's side has this plug. I assume it's for the chime if you don't plug in your seat belt. I've pulled the wire out so that we don't crush it once we get our buckle in. So we'll tuck that wire back in after we get the bolt started or the nut started. So we've got our hole in the carpet here. We'll work our buckle in over the stud. Okay, so we've got the buckle started over the stud. Now we'll get the nut on top. And there we go, nice and tight. So now that we've got the buckle tight, we just need to tuck in our wire. There's actually plenty of room going back towards the back of the truck. We'll fold the carpet flap over the top, and it looks perfect. Now that we've got the seatbelt buckles in, we'll go ahead and bolt our new seat in. So I've got some brand new seat bolts. I got these from GM Parts Direct, and we'll link the part number in the description below. So there's just two on each side. Okay, so now that the seat is bolted in, the last step is to put our seat belts in. And you might be wondering, is he gonna put his old nasty seat belts in? And the answer is no. Take a look at this, guys. We had our old belts redone by a company called Safety Restore out in Massachusetts, and we're gonna link them below. They did a fantastic job. So you can see the color match there is really nice. So they put all new belts in, stitched it all back together, cleaned up the mechanism, made sure everything was working appropriately. I'm honestly often not very impressed when I send things out and get them done. But this is one of those times that we got this project back and these belts look really good. If you're looking to restore your interior and getting your belts redone, I'd highly recommend Safety Restore. So let's get them put in. Okay, so we're gonna start out by bolting the bottom box in. And there's just actually one bolt here that goes down into the floor. So we'll get that lined up and get that bolt started. And it's a T50 Torx for that bolt. We've got the bottom bracket bolted on. We'll bolt in our shoulder strap. And this bolt is also a T50. Okay, now that the bolt is tight, we'll snap on the cover. A big part of the interior on this truck is now done, and let me tell you, I am really excited. It looks fantastic. I will warn you though, if you're thinking about doing this project on your own truck, a lot of these parts are hard to find. Now the parts that you can just buy from vendors, we'll link those in the description below. But a lot of these parts, like this seat, this came out of a junkyard in Des Moines. The seatbelt buckles, that came out of a junkyard in Maryland. The seatbelt cover has a couple of two tiny little plastic rivets. Those came off of a truck that was being parted out on Facebook Marketplace. You're gonna have to look high and low to find all of the parts to put these interiors back together because they just don't make the stuff anymore. If you enjoyed this content, please do like and subscribe. We've still got a lot more projects to finish out the restoration on this truck.